200 years of the New Yorker. What's the difference between 100 years ago and today to do a paper like that?
Well, the world is radically different. The world is not so funny as it was in 1925, but we try to keep our sense of humor and write about politics. And I think you see the beauty on the walls here, and that's an important part of the New Yorker.
You know, we are in the Trump era. I would say that probably your magazine sells more, right? I mean, there is one positive aspect to have Trump at the White House, that probably people want to read more magazine like yours.
I would give up that privilege very happily. We cover whoever's in the White House. It doesn't matter if it's Trump or Obama.
And about Italy, this is about Italy in your cover. Now, what is special about Italy in the New Yorker compared to other countries that appear in the New Yorker?
Well, I don't think that what's special is that we have access to Italian artists who have done wonderful work for us, like Lorenzo Mattotti and many others. It's not that they're necessarily portraying Italy, but we get their individual sensibilities, and that's a great joy.
100 years of the New Yorker, and you did work 1/3 of it.
Yes. For the history of the magazine, every week we have a new cover. So for the past 32 years, I have been finding the images every week.
What is the difference between, having in a cover something about Italy compared to some other country?
I think what we look for is artists who have a voice, and in many instances, it is the joie de vivre. It is the color and the design and the pleasure of life. Sometime in the landscape of Lorenzo Mattotti, or in the decorations of Christmas by Olympia Zagnoli, or another image by Olympia Zagnoli of eating a watermelon, or this image by Anna Parini of a woman reading a book, is taking life and taking all the juice out of it.
And in 32 years of your work for the magazine, what period inspired you the most and which one the least?
To me, the miracle that happens every week is how the artist can capture the life as we live it, the feelings and what it's like to be alive now in 2025 or 10 years ago, and not just what the clothes are or the hairdos, but what makes people laugh, what attitudes, what prejudices even they have. And that is a fantastic way to record what we're living, because it's a felt rather than the superficial. It's the inner moment.
100 anni di New Yorker e al consolato il New Yorker diventa italiano. Ci spieghi?
Beh, abbiamo pensato con gli amici del New Yorker, a cominciare dall'editore, da David Remnick che era con noi stasera, che valesse la pena festeggiare all'italiana i 100 anni del New Yorker attraverso delle copertine che o rappresentano dei soggetti italiani oppure sono state create da illustratori italiani, e ne abbiamo alcuni che hanno lavorato frequentemente con New York, come Lorenzo Mattotti, Olympia Zagnoli, Ivan Brunetti, e altri che hanno fatto collaborazioni episodiche, ma in tutta questa mostra che copre un secolo di storia, che è il secolo del New Yorker, quello che risalta di più in un modo o in un altro è l'italianità.
We're talking about an institution which has shaped journalism, culture, literature throughout one century in the United States and across the world. And that still today it's synonymous with excellence, independence and success, which is not easy. So, first of all, let me thank all the New Yorker staff who helped us to realize this exhibit. and all the New York representatives who are present here today, starting with an institution within the institution, the editor, David Remnick. Thank you very much for being here, David. I would like also to welcome Fabio Bertone, the General Counsel. And Madame Mouly, who is the art editor. I know she's here, but I haven't met her. And many others. What we try to create here, to do here, it's actually a selection of New Yorkers covers, which in a way or another are connected to Italy, because either Italy is a subject or the illustrators who created the cover are Italians. And actually this is also a celebration of, if you want, of the rich cultural, intellectual relations between Italy and New York City, and Italy and this legendary publication. If you look around, you see a sort of you can have a kind of chronological exploration spanning 1 century. And you have a New Yorker costing 35 cents in 1931. But you have representation of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, of Venice, or maybe Tuscany by Mattotti. And then you have different artistic styles and these different cultural understanding and perspectives, which are mirroring actually 1 century of history. So it was very difficult to select these 18 illustration covers. There were many more. And some of the illustrators have been repeatedly collaborating with the New Yorker, like Lorenzo Mattotti, or Lincoln Zagnoli, or Ivan Brunetti. But there is also an illustrator who actually hasn't collaborated with you yet for covers, but has designed the New York produced podcast cover In the Dark. You will see it there. And I want to acknowledge it because it's here among us, Emiliano Ponzi, and this podcast, by the way, has won a Pulitzer Prize just last week. So congratulations to you all. So without further ado, I would like really to wish you enjoy the evening, enjoy the exhibition, and happy birthday to the New Yorker. David.
This is a tremendous honor, and it's also slightly embarrassing in the Italian context. When an American goes to Italy, the idea of thinking that something's 100 years old is old. It's vaguely ridiculous. Nevertheless, it is, in this country at least, it's, if a magazine has a moment where it has something to say about the times or the country or the world, where it captures some element of the humor or absurdity of the times, it's considered a great success. A great success, like Life magazine or Time magazine in mid-century. The New Yorker started out in a very, very different time than now. It started out in 1925, after the First World War. Things were fun. There was this thing called fun. You remember this? It's a little difficult at the moment to remember this. But there was such a time, and it was called the Jazz Age. And for, I don't know, $15,000, a group of friends that hung around at the same restaurants and played at the same poker games and got drunk together, decided to have fun and start a magazine. And they didn't know quite what it was about, except that it was about them. It was about the spirit of that group of people. And out of that near failure, because within 3 months it almost flopped on its face, it became something central to the American culture, and it's the miracle of the New Yorker is independent of me or any one person, absolutely. It seeks to revive itself and to renew itself and have something to say about the culture in 1925 and 2025 and all the years in between. And one of the ways of doing that is to show the imagery
of our lives. Our lives, not only in New York City, although that's the crux of it, but something around the world. And to that end, we have a wonderful, wonderful art editor, Françoise Mouly. She and I have been working together, what time is it, about 6 o'clock? 27 years. We've been working together really in a one-on-one process of Françoise generating all these images around you. And they've changed radically, and they have different moods. And she also is capable of seeing not only the American artists that are in front of her face in New York, but also in Italy, in France, in Brazil, really increasingly all over the world, which is in the best sense of diversity, it seems to me. So I'm very grateful to her, very grateful to her associate Jean-Pierre, who's also here, and who did so much to put this exhibition together. So thank you to both of you, and thank you to all my associates. And thank you for participating.
Thank you so much. Scusato il mio italiano primitivo, celebriamo insieme gli artisti italiani del New Yorker e le copertine dedicate all'Italia. La nostra rivista è letta e apprezzata in molti paesi del mondo, ma ciò che rende New York interessante è il fatto che è il punto d'incontro di tutte le posizioni del mondo. Grazie quindi a voi, ambasciatori della cultura del vostro splendido paese, per aver promosso e attraverso questa mostra i valori culturali che ci uniscono. Che l'Italia continua a brillare a New York e sul New Yorker Quasimodo.
Brava!
Speaking Italian with a beautiful French accent. Merci, merci beaucoup, Françoise.